Hi, Claudia. Hello. Good morning, Professor. So just a small introduction of Professor Casarina and Claudia. Here with us today also Professoressa Ilaria Prosdocimi and Professor Alberto Albarelli. A very numerous presenters today. So, Professor Roberto Casarina teaches econometrics in data analytics for business and society. He's a member of Centro di Eccellenza Vera. He studied previously for the bachelor at FOSCARI and the master at Paris Dauphine 9. He got a PhD in economics at FOSCARI and another one in mathematics at Paris Dauphine 9. Professoressa Ilaria Prosdocimi teaches business analytics. She's also lecturer in statistics at the University of Bath, UK, previously statistician at the Centre of Ecology and Hydrology in UK, and at Janssen Pharmaceutica in Belgium. Professor Alberto Albarelli teaches data analytics and artificial intelligence. He worked previously in the industry for 10 years before receiving his PhD in computer science for FOSCARI. In 2011, he won the award for research established by Venice University that reward young researchers exhibiting their highest scientific impact. So now, sorry, I was forgetting Claudia. Claudia is our student of data analytics. She's in her first year of study. Now I would like to give the floor to Professor Casarina.
So thank you. Let me share the screen. So I would like to thank the International Office to give us the opportunity to present the program, the data analytics for business and society, which is a joint initiative of actually three departments: Department of Management, Computer Science and Statistical Science, and Department of Economics, which is promoting the program. So it's a master degree program which involves actually the two campuses, the San Giobbe campus and the campus of Computer Science, which is in mainland. And it's also have some relationship with the Vera Center for Economic and Risk Analytics for Public Policies, which is a research center of the Department of Economics, which got the Excellence Department funding from the Italian Ministry of Education and University for the high quality of the research and teaching that the department can provide. So let me introduce briefly the program. So the data analytics program is a new master course which aims at addressing some emerging needs of both economy and society, based on the increasing availability of data, and digitalization. So the massive use of data and the use of quantitative methods can enable the study, the analysis of both computational aspects and implication for economics and business. So let's say that the program is at the intersection between various fields, so machine learning, mathematics and statistics, who can provide quantitative tools for the analysis of data, coding as well, can provide the tool necessary to get access to the data and manipulate the data, and then other disciplines such as finance, economics, management, organization science, where the student can find, say, the research questions, the challenging question, which can be addressed using data and quantitative tools. So I will be back to this aspect later on, maybe with a practical example or case study. So here you have some useful information. So we have a reference website. The head of study is Professor Agar Bujavini. The language is English, official language, and there is the reference department is the Department of Economics. There is a limited number of places available, which is 65, and there is some admission. There is an admission procedure, which is based on test, curriculum requirements, and possibly interview. The program duration is 2 years, and let's start with the motivating example. Okay, so what are big data and how can we use them? So big data contain information, can be lifestyle, behavior. When chatting on Twitter, or on Facebook, posting on Facebook, clearly we are behaving in a certain way, and data are created on this platform, which can be analyzed to understand the behavior of the people who are using the platforms, and to understand the relationship between persons which are exchanging messages, for example. So this question can be relevant for economic and for business environments, provided you are able to get access to the data, analyze the data, and you are able to imagine what are the relevant questions which you are able to deal with, okay, using big data and the tools from the different fields I mentioned before: machine learning, coding, or mathematics and statistics. So this information can be instrumental for decision making, both in public and private sectors. So think to investment decision and trading decision for finance, or policy agreements in the insurance sector. And example of the source of information, sources of big data are clearly internet. Think to Google Trend, where you can download the number of volume of search for a keyword in Google search. Google Trend can provide is a source of big data, okay, which is readily available to everybody. But then you have social networks such as Twitter, Facebook, online forum, specialized forum, think forum about Bitcoin, or think forum on investment. You will get an example later on in this presentation. And other example, Walmart, 1 million clients each hour, feedings, 2.5 petabytes. So that are potential sources of big data, but there are many other sources provided, for example, by IoT and new technologies applied within the digital, say, approach to society and to society. Okay, so the skills you need to analyze this data are range from coding to statistics, economics, and business. Let's pick a more specific example. That's an analysis I had the opportunity to consider, to develop some years ago, which is related to the behavior of investors on a specialized forum of online investment, which is a forum maintained by an Italian publisher, Brown Editori, which is one of the leading publisher in the community, for the community, reference publisher for the community of investors. So you can find about 3,400 messages per day, and 1 million visitors per month. And the communication is organized in thread, and for each thread we have 5 say rules. So live meetings, operative discussions about finance, financial in-depth analysis, and pre-discussion, and then support to customers. Okay, so is a very complex platform where you can interact. I mean, people can interact along different directions. So in the picture you have at the bottom here is the evolution over time of the number of users. Okay. Million users over time, and at the top picture, in the top picture, you have the evolution of the price of a stock traded on the Italian equity market. This UniCredit stock. Actually, the picture you have at the bottom is the evolution over time of the number of users which are discussing about that specific stock. So the goal of the analysis is to understand how people are behaving in the forum when discussing about that specific stock, and at the same time study which is the dependence between the behavior of the agent on the market, which are trading the stock on the market, and which is the behavior of the people which are discussing on the forum about the same topic, so which is the value of the stock traded on the market. So there is information versus trade, which is the relationship between the two. This is a valuable information for both the editor, which is the publisher, which is in charge of managing the forum, and which is a valuable information also for investors, which can get more insight about the value of the stock, looking at what is happening in the forum. That's an example of big data and how big data can be used to analyze analyze the behavior and to analyze society more in general and markets, and which can be used to draw some conclusion and to reply some interesting questions for both private companies, such as the publisher, such as the investors, which are mainly banks investing in the market, but also for the policymakers, so the central banks and other institutions aiming at the stability of the market, which is one of the features of the series. You can find these data sets is the, uncertainty, which is changing over time. You can see these spikes, which are present in both series. The spikes reflect period where there is a large number of users discussing the forum, but which correspond also to large oscillation in the prices in the market. So this clearly has to do with the stability of the market and to be able to forecast or say predict the level of stability of the prices in the market is available information to policymakers. So that's another example of how machine learning and techniques can help us in studying analyzing the behavior of the investors in the market. So basically, you start with from a collection of documents. So it's a collection of text. So textual data. You have in this picture, top left, and you transform this data thanks to some basic, say, machine learning techniques or text mining techniques into a network. So a network is a sequence of colored dots here linked by arrows or edges. So each dot represents an investor who is also a user in the forum, and the edge represents the exchange of information in the forum between the different users. So this is the configuration of the forum at a given moment where the market is in a tranquil period. And let's see how the forum transforms. So this is how the forum is a picture of the forum when the market is in a high volatility state. There's a lot of uncertainty about the price of a stock traded on the market. So machine learning helps us first to extract information, second to represent the information through some, say, pictures or visualization tools. And the step further clearly is to assess using quantitative methods the information content of this data. Okay, so representation is a good is a first step to start with. Then a measurement and quantification of some aspect is needed. And that is the point where statistics, mathematics come into play, statistical learning, for example, and can be used to reply to some interesting questions. Okay, so these bring me to the structure of the program. So there are some core educational activities. So at the core of the program, you have statistical learning for data science, computer programming and data management, which help you to, which provide you with an introduction to the structure of the data, the structure of a database, and to coding. Okay. Then you have data analytics and artificial intelligence, and then on the management economic side, managerial decision making and modeling, digital business modeling, economics of risk and agent behavior. Then you have some specialization courses. Following two curricula we have, the list of courses can change. So in the curriculum, in the business application curriculum, you have a big data in corporate finance, for example, business analytics, digital HR and organization, digital market and customer analytics. Whereas in the fintech and big tech curriculum, you have technology for finance and insurance, health, data science, models and technology for financial industry, and finally, in the end, predictive business and finance. Let me mention also the possibility to have the double degree. We recently got this agreement with the University of Reading, of Reading, UK. Is a double degree with the Henley Business School, which is related to two different programs they have. One is in finance and financial technology. The other is in information management and digital business. Yeah, so the feature of the program, let's say, is not only in the mix of competencies and skills from different fields, ranging from economics, management, statistics, and computer science, but also in the way learning is, in the way the topics are introduced in the course. So one way to introduce topics is flipped classroom, where students are notified before the class about the topic, and then in the classroom there is a constructive discussion and debate, which encourage active learning about the topic. So the idea is to go to the core of the topic to get a deep understanding of the notion which is introduced in the different courses. The participatory approach, which provide the presence of experts in the different fields and encourage students to meet the expert, discussing with them some relevant topics for this master program. And then learning by creating. So that's an important part that has to do with a project, with many projects you can find in the courses. And in this project, let's say that the aim of the project is to help students to learn how to develop products, services, and strategies, how to put in place a process of prototyping and testing and revising, which with the aim to provide new solutions, new products, for both companies or institutions. Actually, the professional profiles has to do with both public institutions and private companies from different areas and fields. And then following the specialization, let's say that the professional profiles you can have within this master are the following. So you can have, profiles for firms, which are useful for firms operating in the industrial sector, and all sizes of firms that analyze and use data as source of information within a production process. Then the profiles which can be useful for organization dealing with the development and management of innovative database services, and also financial institutions such as bank and insurance working with the same aim. So that is developing innovative database services. Also consulting companies, bigger consulting companies are really interested in this kind of professional profiles. As regards the social data analyst specialist, let's say that the goal of the master is to provide a background, the skills which are required for by financial companies, for example, to make decision about investment and or by the health sector to make decision about public or private policy making or decision. So examples are healthcare consultancy agencies, pharmaceutical companies, and so on. Also, public or private national and international research and development centers and study centers are really interested into central banks or financial stability institution or authorities, which are interested in analyzing big data with the aim to provide new empirical facts which are relevant for monitoring, for example, firms and market. So the skills needed, as I told you, are at the intersection of different fields. So mathematics and statistics. Then you have hacking skills, let's say, which has to do with the coding. But at the intersection, you can find data science and clearly, which everything requires a substantive expertise in all these fields. In addition to all these skills, skills from economics and management are needed. And that's the novelty, say, of this master program, which is a unique program in the say in Italy for sure, and which is not a purely data science program, which is not a purely machine learning program, and is not a purely quantitative economics program. It's exactly the intersection, the mix between the three fields, which makes the program unique in the in the set of programs offered by the Italian universities. Okay, so here we have an example of skills you can get from a statistical learning course for data science. In particular, you can learn how to build predictive models or machine learning models to generate accurate prediction for the future. You will learn what are the main drawbacks and advantages in using machine learning techniques, what are the problems, for example, the overfitting problem, which has to do with also splitting data into training and testing set. You will learn how to select an approach which is required for identifying optimal value of the parameter, which is a tuning procedure for the parameter of your predictive or machine learning model, and then how to evaluate the predictive performance of the model. At the same time, model and say statistical, more generally statistical and mathematical skills has to be applied within a coding, framework. I mean, let me say that the main language would be Python, and we push the students to learn also other languages, R, MATLAB, Stata, and all the software environments which are needed in a data-rich environment. But let's say that the basic, the core will be Python, but we have also Professor Albarelli, which can tell us more about this aspect in the QA session. Okay, so that brings me to the next topic. So computer programming and data management. So machine learning, learn about machine learning and predictive model is not enough. There is also the needed to understand what are the research questions, how to organize data in a way which is useful to reply to the research question. And also there is a needed to data management skills, which are key ingredient to make data say usable, okay, to allow you to use data in an effective way. Yeah, as I told you, the main programming language would be Python, and you will get in the computer programming and data management courses an introduction also to basic data structures, data source usage and manipulation, all libraries is needed within this, let's say, approach to data, and data cleaning, preparation, data visualization, which is an important step to get first insight into the data, and then which is a preliminary step to data quantitative data analysis. So the covered topics in courses related to economics and management has to do with decision making. So decision making under uncertainty, which is one of the features of decision in social sciences. Most of the time, policymakers or companies are making decisions in an uncertain environment. So it's important to understand what is the role of uncertainty when making decisions. That's why you will have an introduction to uncertainty and principle of economics to be able to connect uncertainty in the data and uncertainty in the decision process. How to handle with the uncertainty within a decision process. Example from portfolio, from insurance will be provided. Also handling with case studies from micro data set will be included in this course, economics, the impact of uncertainty. Learning from experts in the fields is an important step in the learning process. And finally, project examples and active participation with assignment is another feature of this course. Okay, so I would like to thank you for the attention. I mean, I will be available together with the colleagues, Ilaria and Alberto, for the QA session. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Casarin, for the nice presentation and a great one. So now we will have a few questions that our students asked us in the Q&A platform. So the first one, how appropriate is the course for a student with a 2-year experience in the consulting industry?
Yeah, I mean, we try to reply to the question. Then, if Ilaria and Andrea then would like to contribute, feel free to interrupt me. So I will say that the program is specifically designed for someone who has a background in economics, management, with skill, some say basic skill in statistics and mathematics. Clearly, an experience in the private sector or 2 years working experience can help in having a better understanding of the research questions and in getting more focus on what are the goals, okay, in terms of research, in terms of problem solving, in terms of organization or decision making processes. When dealing with data, clearly that can help in the motivation part of the program, whereas the more technical part related to coding, mathematics and statistics clearly has to be developed within the program. Okay, so yeah, so it's past experience can help, especially in the motivation part and in defining the goals and objective of the courses.
Okay, Another question is, will this program assist for risk management?
Yeah, let's see that. Let's say that there is a part of the part of the courses is dedicated to finance and insurance, and within these courses, you get an introduction to machine learning techniques or artificial intelligence techniques for specifically designed for finance and insurance. So within this framework, you can find portfolio optimization, you can find credit risk in general, or broadly speaking, risk management. So I will say that the program allows students to get the tools needed to have an approach to either credit risk or portfolio optimization based on machine learning and artificial intelligence techniques, which, let me say, which does not include all possible techniques you can find in quantitative portfolio management or in quantitative risk management, but is say an important and important component in many units. You can find machine learning units operating within banks and insurance companies.
Okay.
Even central banks now have machine learning units working on credit risk or finance analysis.
Okay. And you described also the opportunity for the double degree program and other opportunities for the students. Can you describe also the internships that the students are required to do during their studies?
Yeah, about this I have information, but I don't know if Andrea can help me. About the internship.
About the internship, I guess that they're required to, they can perform both an internship with companies, we working on a specific problem, and maybe they can, this can lead to a master thesis, or I'm not sure, but I guess that they can also have an internship with a professor on a specific research topic. At least this is what we usually do in computer science. I guess it's the same here.
Also, you can also do your internship abroad. That is allowed and encouraged. So that is also an option for the students who are interested in not necessarily only staying in Italy.
Yeah, clearly the master is not providing interviews. Okay, so I mean, you can get in touch with the expert invited in the courses. I expect is a first stage, the first contact. Then we clearly invite and push students to submit their CV to companies where machine learning units are active. So I'm thinking to consulting companies and banks, for example. That's my area of expertise. Yeah.
Okay. Another question: how can this program help someone with an agri-tech career plan?
So, sorry, with them?
How can this program help someone with an agri-tech career plan?
With what? Agri-tech?
Yeah.
Agri-tech. Okay, so I got the question. Thank you. So the agri-tech, I mean, let's say that there is an intersection between organization and strategic and strategies for companies. So I think that knowledge of dealing data from IoT, for example, imaging solution, IoT-based solutions, and data analysis solution can be something a student from this master can have. I mean,
not only that, actually, machine learning methods can be used, for instance, to fine-tune the amount of water and nutrients that you should use, for instance, for specific cultures, or even you can use something like computer vision and also other kind of proper usual machine learning stuff to, for instance, detect pathological condition in your culture or something like this, and also maybe to perform something that is not related actually to the physical part of the agri-tech industry, but rather on the need to fix price, to decide how many kind of crops produce. So there is this intersection between prediction in the financial aspects of agri-tech and the topics that are covered in the course. So basically, nowadays, machine learning tools are used for quite everything because they are able to create very good predictors, interpolator optimizers. So in the agri-tech field, I can see they have to be applied both in the production itself. So basically know how to fine-tune the production, how to detect anomalous condition, how to work around, for instance, to adverse meteorological condition and so on, or to predict them on microclimatic conditions, etc., but also on the financial and strategical part, because nowadays agri-tech is also about creating supplies on a worldwide scale. So many different predictors will be also created in order to find out which kind of strategical direction to use, or which kind of culture to produce, etc. So
yeah, related to this, for sure, the interest of the insurance companies in monitoring culture, I mean, and say weather condition, which are kind of impacting the production, and so the exposure to risk of the production. So, say designing policy agreement which are covering the risk that specific company is facing is something valuable for the company, for the insurance company, and also for the farmer, or which is facing a risk and would like to pay a premium, for example, for insurance company, which is aligned with the actual risk is facing. Okay, so to have a full coverage for the risk. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think that you properly replied to the students, so you gave a furnished reply. We are out of our time together, unfortunately. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Now I will give the floor to Claudia, our student. Thank you so much, Professor Casarin, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, Claudia.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
So make an introduction of yourself.
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Claudia, and I am a first-year student of the Data Analytics for Business and Society course. I am also the student representative for the course in the Professor Students Commission of the Department of Economics and in the Quality Assurance Group. I live in Mestre, a city nearby Venice, and I have indeed studied in Venice since high school. I got my bachelor's degree here at FOSCARI. I graduated in Business Administration and Management, a course offered by the Department of Management, where I learned about managerial theories to direct businesses and people inside them, together with notions of economics and statistics. And well, today I am here to tell you more about this course from the perspective of a student like you.
And so, can you tell us at first, why did you choose this degree program? Because it was quite new when you started.
Yes, absolutely. I had pondered over what master course to enroll in for a very long time, actually. I dream of becoming a marketing analyst one day, so I did my research and I realized how important it would have been to learn statistics better and to build some programming skills too. My goal was to find a course that would have taught me something practical that I would have used in the future, and that would have also increased my knowledge in the economics and business field too. That is why this course was the best choice for me, since it merges quantitative and computational subjects together with notions of economics and management. Moreover, allowing me to build up my experience thanks to the learn by creating approach adopted by the teachers of the course. And all the subjects are taught in English. I think there are very few masters as compared to this one in Italy, since it offers the greatest choice of courses, and the best equilibrium between economics and quantitative subjects out of all the study programs I examined so far. This is why I feel I am really doing something concrete and practical for my future.
Okay. And how did the pandemic affected your experience?
The pandemic didn't affect it very much, actually. Unless it is forbidden by the law to leave the house, one now, or let's say by now, can choose to go to the campus and follow the lectures in person, or to attend them from home by connecting to a Zoom call where a professor will share what he or she is explaining. I think that students do like this dual teaching modality quite much, since, for instance, it could help you if you are one of those who would need to commute to the campus from a very long distance, and so you can optimize your time. It can help to reduce, moreover, the time you spend on public transportation means, and also if you get ill, you can still follow the lectures from home. And I bet you would agree with me that this is a smart solution considering how complicated our reality is nowadays.
Okay. And tell me, what about extracurricular activities? So what do you do, and what would you suggest to do to the students?
Let's say that I would really suggest activities related to the international opportunities and to the students' associations here in FOSCARI. In order, according to the census, that is an Institute of Socioeconomic Research, FOSCARI is the best university in Italy in the class B universities for internationalization policies. And you will indeed find on the university's web page under Global all the opportunities to go abroad that the university offers and the destinations available. You could choose to go to another country of the EU, thanks to the Erasmus Plus program, or to go outside the EU, thanks to the Overseas program or the Erasmus Plus International Credit Mobility. As Professor Cavazarin was saying before, also the ABS program offers a precious opportunity, which is to earn a double degree in partnership with the Henley Business School of Reading in the UK. And also you can choose to go abroad and do your internship there. Then let's go to the student association part. And in FOSCARI, you will find many associations, like, for instance, the most economic related ones are Marketers, which is an association for marketing enthusiasts, or Investment, which is the first financial business club that FOSCARI has, and Jevin, which is a junior enterprise where students can put into practice what they studied by practicing as consultants for local firms. Lastly, if you're interested in sports, there's the University Sports Center, and it offers a wide variety of courses too.
Okay. So, Claudia, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we didn't have so much time together, but you replied to as many questions as possible and precisely. So thank you so much. Thank you very much to our presenters for their contribution today. I'd also like to thank you for joining us. Hopefully you have now a much clearer idea about this program's content, structure, and student experience. I encourage you to be in touch with the International Office by writing to us at prospective.students@unive.it and by exploring our webpage at www.unive.it/English. If you would like to get to know our students better, you can also check out our international students Instagram page, Student Life in Venice, or book a one-on-one Zoom call with a current student. If and when you are ready to apply for admission, navigate to our online application platform at apply.unive.it. There you will find all the information you need about deadlines and procedures. Keep in mind that for the program discussed today, non-EU citizens must apply by May 3rd, while EU citizens can apply until June 21st. Lastly, if you like what you heard today, I would encourage you to register for the final International Open Day webinar on Saturday, February 19, designed for everyone and dedicated to explaining in greater detail the student services and opportunities available to all of our FOSCARI students. So arrivederci. I hope to hear from you soon. And thank you very much again for being here with us today. Bye.